Hello. So, we are reviewing The Flash Season 5, Episode 3. We are a little bit behind. A lot of things happened over the weekend, so we're behind. But this is the review for Episode 3, The Death of Vibe. So in this one, we get a little bit more introduced to the villain. Sakata, and Nora talks a little bit more about him and the Flash Museum. We get to see a sneak peek of the Flash Museum, of all the villain and everything, and Nora says Sakata has never been caught.
Yeah, so Sakata or Cicada, whichever one it is, but she tells them that she notifies the Flash team that he's actually been a part of the storyline before she was ever born. They just never caught him. So he's been the most elusive Flash villain to date, according to what the Flash Museum states. And that is a little interesting thing because we find out that in this episode, this Sakata, the villain Sakata that they're dealing with, is not the same guy that is to become Sakata.
Yeah, they find that out because they bring in Sherlock, because I don't know the way he spelled this, like L-O-Q.
Oh, yeah, it's like Sherlock. Yeah, because he's French.
Yeah, Sherlock Wills.
Yeah.
And they bring him in, and they find out that, when they catch the Sakata and they turn him in, and Nora's all happy, they find out that he's, in that time period, he's just a serial killer.
Yeah, he's still his original serial killer mode.
And he has not turned into Sakata mode yet.
Yeah.
And then you get Sherlock Wills going, what are you talking about? I always catch him in every Earth.
Right.
So we get that the reason Sherlock Wills was able to always catch Sakata is he's done it in all the same Earth and they're all the same. But this one, the time period, they're still a little bit behind, or there's a little bit tweak and twist into it.
Yeah, well, they find out that because Nora messed with the timeline, it has now created kind of like a remnant of Sakata. So this Sakata, that's the villain, he's completely separate from the guy that becomes Sakata, according to the timelines, right? So they catch the original guy. The original guy just goes to prison. But the Sakata that they're chasing after, he's still out there. He's still a serial killer, but it's almost like his intentions got altered by Nora. And when she did something to tweak the timeline, his intentions got altered. He's no longer just kind of killing people because he's a serial killer. He's killing people because he's killing metas by absorbing their powers.
Yeah, his lightning rod takes their powers away. That's why every time Barry fights him, Barry can't do anything because the lightning rod just sucks it up.
No metas can do anything.
Yeah, no metas can do anything.
We did see him go to the hospital, so his daughter is in a coma, and we're assuming that she must have gotten put in a coma because of something that happened in the previous 2 seasons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it may be due to the fact when Eborn Thawne created the whole lightning for Barry and created all those.
Yeah, it could have started way back in season 1. It could have
started in season 1 because Barry alternated the timeline on the time.
Could have been season 2 with Zoom making the metas go to war against the people.
Yeah, it could have been Barry running, create Flashpoint, and all these stuff like that.
Could have been at the end of the Savitar season where the Speed Force went crazy
came getting from Barry.
Could have been because of DeVoe, So we don't know yet, but all we know is he blames metas.
We do get that Sherlock. So this is like the introduction of we get to keep Tom Cavanagh with the team.
Yes. Oh, yes.
Sherlock asks for like this expensive payout for him to find cicada for them, and he used that money, and they found the wrong cicada. So therefore, he has to work until he pays them back.
Yeah.
So we get Tom Cavanagh with us for a while.
Yeah, Sherlock Wells now.
And then we get Ralph and Caitlin on the side trying to go figure out why her mom faked her dad's death certificate.
Mm-hmm.
And she goes and they find a file on her dad, and it's a lot of things that he created when Caitlin was a kid. And he also wrote a suicide note. And Caitlin solved the puzzle, and it says, "Come find Caitlin, come find me." And then you get that the camera that are inside of Star Lab, someone's watching them.
Yes.
So it could be that the dad has been keeping his eye on Caitlin all along, and he's been seeing her become Killer Frost, or he's just been keeping an eye on her because of what something happened for the mom to create this fake death certificate because the mom won't admit to it.
I mean, or it could be Cicada.
Yeah.
We did find out in this episode that he has certain powers. He can fly. That was very interesting. Because there was a fight sequence in which they were able to fake the death of Vibe, and then Cicada was hurt. He had gotten hurt, and when he got hurt, he left, but he didn't just kind of run away or teleport away. He flew away like Supergirl. So it's almost like I'm thinking like, okay, well, we've never seen a meta that Barry they fought against that could fly.
Thought he's not a meta.
That's what I'm saying.
I remember when they were introducing this season, he wasn't.
Cicada is technically not a meta, but then what we did see, but then for some reason he could fly, and then in the hospital scene,
like this burning.
He had this burn scar that was caused by that explosion of the little light bulb, energy bulb that Cisco threw at him, and it wasn't healing. It was taking a longer time to heal, and so it almost looks like he's not a meta. He's not fully a meta.
It reminds me. Do you remember from season 1 when the electric guy, guy? Yeah, it looked like that. Yeah. It's that's the thing that's tricky, right? It almost looks like he's gone and he's absorbed a lot of the metas that Barry fought against, and it's all stored within that rod. And because he's been elusive for so long and for so much, so it's interesting to see more and more kind of seeing what kind of things he can do because of he wanted to kill Vibe. They have to pretend that Cisco is dead. But here's like the weird thing. Why did he want to kill Vibe?
Well, see,
I think it's because he can teleport.
Yeah, well, I think...
And he needed that?
I don't think that I think he knows, because I still feel that this is Cicadas from the future. So he knows things that they don't know. Like, he knows what's going to happen.
Then shouldn't Nora know as well?
Well, yes, that's going to lead up to our next topic, right? I think Cicada knows things that the Flash guys don't know. It's kind of like if you guys watched season 3 and Barry had gone to the future to see what Savitar did. And so when he came back to his regular time, they started trying to change things up so that Iris wouldn't die. So I think what Cicada is Cicada came from the future along with Nora, and he knows through the Flash Museum, he knows the ins and out of their building. He knows who Vibe and who they are. He knows what to do with them, how to deal with them. And I think that's what's allowing him to have the upper hand. And I think that's what Nora's not telling them, which leads to our final topic about Nora.
What is she hiding?
Yeah.
Because she's hiding
a lot
of things.
She knows who Cicada. She knows something about Cicada.
Like, because it was so easy for her. The moment she heard it, she was just like, it's Cicada.
Yeah.
And it's okay. Here's like the thing, like, okay, I understand the Flash Museum she studied the insides out of the Flash Museum, but there has to be more that she knows.
Yeah.
And she's not telling it, because when they were trying to call the Harrison Wells, and she was like, oh, this Harrison Wells has helped me before, the one, the blonde, but he's all like, oh, I'm busy, so let me send you Sherlock Wells. And like, they're like, she goes, this guy is horrible.
Right.
You know, but like, Nora's all like, no, he's like one of the best ones.
Yeah.
So you get like, I have a feeling Nora time traveled a lot already. Trying to do something. Or like when she discovered her power, she was able to time travel.
Right.
And she's been time traveling.
Right.
And then I think that the time that she travels, she doesn't meet Barry.
Well, I think she's been time traveling, and she's just not been getting the right one, and now she finally has. And I think every time she time travels, she doesn't think about what's going to happen, so she starts talking to people and starts meeting people, and then like that slowly, incrementally messes up timelines.
Yeah, and then there's the thing, you gotta remember in season 4, we saw her writing in a book.
Yes.
So she is jotting something down. She
Yeah.
is collecting information in this timeline.
Yeah.
So who knows what she's doing.
Right. And at the end of the episode, Sherlock Wells, who is very intelligent and deductive reasoning, he deducted that she is working with somebody. He kind of joked it onto her, but I truly believe he feels that way, that she's working with somebody or for somebody. And as you guys all know, according to the comic books, Nora isn't the only child. She has a twin brother.
And that's why, like, when season 5 was coming out, we made a bet that I said there's a twin. But like, I wasn't going with the fact that it's both girls, because in the comic book, it's like she said, they're twins.
You did say it was both girls.
Well, I said it could still be a boy or girl, but I still stick with twins.
Yeah, so I think that there's, she was gonna have a twin brother, and everybody knows that according to the lore, the twin brother and her are both speedsters. They both inherited the speed force from Barry, and they're both actually faster than him, and so they naturally can be faster than Barry. And and we also know that later in this season, Eobard Thawne is going to come back. Reverse Flash is going to come back, and so I think that she has something to do with Reverse Flash. He may be keeping her twin brother in that time prison, and she has to collect information for him, and she has to do his bidding for him. That could be that, or it could just be that she has messed up so many timelines already, and she just finally found the right one that Barry is still alive in. Because there's just too much that she knows.
Yeah, so I have a feeling that, because in her timeline, she doesn't meet Barry. She never got a chance to meet her dad. So what if she have actually found our next villain to season 6?
It could be.
And she's actually working with that person as a trade-off so she can go and meet Barry.
Could be.
And they give her the correct time. And what if that is Eobard Thawne?
Well, that would have to be Eobard, because remember when and any of you guys who've seen season 3, Eobard brought Barry back to the current timeline with a little twist. He tweaked a little bit of things.
Yeah, and then he said to Barry, I'll see you soon.
Yeah, and so it could be that she's working with him, not because she wants to, but because he's forcing her to. So it could be that. We do know that he will come back. That's a guarantee. The preview. How do you feel about the preview for this next episode?
I don't know. I just feel like there's just so much, and it's It's a little bit frustrating me because, yes, we understand Nora is the daughter of Barry and Iris, and Nora has some genes of Iris, and it's frustrating.
She's like the worst of both.
I know, she's
the worst of both and the best of both.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, it's a little too, in a movie, it'd be like, hurry up and spill the beans, but it's like a TV series, and it's just like, can you give us a little something to help us piece up the puzzle together? So, I don't know, I feel like they will reveal what happened to her and what happened to her between her and Iris.
Yep.
That's why she's not close with Iris, but yeah.
Yeah. They do the next season. The next episode. They are explaining that what happened between them and why is it that she's so cold towards her mom, and she almost doesn't even want to be around her. So it's gonna be interesting to see how that pans out on what happens there, because I do believe that the way this season's going, Iris is going to play a big role in the story, because this Iris is different from the future Iris, because the future Iris is from the original storyline. So as you guys know, the original storyline, according to the TV show, is from season 1, and that Iris is different from this Iris, because this Iris, they're not the same. And so there's going to be a little interesting thing that we're gonna get to see about why she's so upset at her mom, and how Barry's gonna have to deal with that. Yeah.
Yep. And that is it for Flash Review.
Yeah.
We will see you guys in the next review.
Coming up. Bye-bye.